Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 16. Today we're going to look at the difference between immigrate, emigrate, and expatriate. So, one versus the other. How can we tell the difference between them? This is one that, especially immigrate and emigrate, native speakers sometimes get confused between the two. So, let's take a look at it. Immigrate means to move to a new country with the intention of living there permanently. Yeah, somebody's like probably sold off everything in their old country and they're planning on really making this their new home. That's what we usually think of if somebody's going to immigrate to a place. So let's take a look for more information here. When someone immigrates to a country, we usually think they do it by legal means. They usually do it legally. They go to embassies, they put in application forms, they may be on waiting lists. It may take them some time to do it, but usually they do it by legal means. First, they should have applied for legal resident status, and many may eventually hope to apply for and get citizenship. So again, the intention, the plan is that they want to move there. They think maybe this country is their new home. They like the idea of moving to this country for whatever reason. Okay, so all right, let's take a look at the typical example. My family is planning to immigrate to Canada. Again, they're going to go there. They're planning on living there permanently. All right, so what's emigrate? Well, immigrate and emigrate may really just simply be looking at the same situation from two different points of view. Emigrate means to leave one's original country, or the country which someone is presently a citizen of, in case you change citizenship more than one time, or sometimes people may have double citizenship. They may be able to luckily hold citizenship of more than one country or more than one passport at the same time. So to leave one's original country or the country which someone is presently a citizen of, with the plan of never going back to live there permanently again. Now, they may go back to visit, of course. They may go back to visit family or friends, and may even stay months when they go back to visit. But they're planning on returning to the new country they moved to again, in order to work, and live there permanently. Again, that's where their permanent home will probably be, in the country they moved to. So, again, so the key part here is leave. When we say emigrate, it means that you left that country. So let's give you an example, and this is a good example because we could look at both together and we can get a clear difference between both emigrate and immigrate at the same time. You say that family emigrated from Poland. All right, emigrated from. We always say emigrated from. That family emigrated from Poland and immigrated to the U.S., to the United States. All right, so again, you're looking at it from different points of view. You're looking at it like where you're leaving from, and then you're looking at where you're going to. So emigrate is always from, immigrate is to. And that's the next point I make here. That's the key point to really clearly see the difference between immigrate and emigrate. It is important to note we usually say that we emigrate from the country you're leaving. You emigrate from. And we immigrate to. Well, let's take a look at expatriate, because expatriate is a little bit in between these two. Expatriate, to move to a country that is not your own, meaning a country that at least at this time you're not a citizen of, so it's not really your country. Usually for a temporary or unclear period of time. Well, first I should say that even to think of it as expatriating, or to be an expatriate, we'll get to that later. You're not just a tourist. You're not going on vacation there for a week or two. Even a month would not qualify. I would probably say, it should be more like a year or several years or a number of years before you're going to really be, using expatriate. All right, so it's good to note that part first. All right, so to move to a country that is not your own, usually for a temporary or unclear period of time. Yeah, when you go there, now a lot of times it's for work, so maybe your company sent you there. You might be there for years. You might be there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But I think somewhere in the back of your mind, you always plan that you will maybe go back to your original country. So when we hear that somebody will expatriate. When someone expatriates, at least originally, that's what I say originally, at least at first, you know, you never know, somebody may change their mind later, but originally he or she does not have the intention to live in the new country for the rest of his or her life. An expatriate may wish to get permanent status to work or study. Yeah, you could use it for students too, like maybe some students that go to the U.S. for university or college, where they're going to be there for at least 4 years, maybe, to graduate from college. At the time they're studying there, they could be considered to be an expatriate. Yes, but again, there is probably the feeling that once they finish their university, they may end up going back to their own country. It's unclear, at least at that point. All right, and let's just take a look at the example. You could say, John expatriated to Japan to teach English. Yeah, you know, he was going to go there. He probably was going with the intention of being there for 1 or more years or several years there to teach. It is also important to note, or it's also important to mention, that expatriate is more often used as a noun. You often hear that somebody is an expatriate, and is very often shortened to expat. So sometimes you hear somebody, they may refer to somebody as an expat or an expatriate. But expatriate is also the verb too at the same time. Alright, so again, just to review, remember we immigrate to, we emigrate from, and expatriate is more like the idea that you're just planning to live or work there for some period of time. Okay, I hope that makes it clear for everybody. Thank you for your time today.